So, welcome to the first Sammy Whitbread PE podcast. So, this podcast is going to be on health, fitness and wellbeing, which is on paper 2. You should have done this in year 10. So, in year 10 GCSE lessons, it should have been the first topic that you covered. So, you've got Mr Brasier and Mr Nicol. We're going to talk you through some key points, hopefully to just jog your memory and to give you a little bit more information about why we played sport. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the physical, emotional and social health benefits of playing sport. So my first question to Mr Nicol is what sports do you play or have you played and why did you play those sports?
So from an early age it was football, and I played a lot of football, played most sports at school but football was the main one. And then as I got a bit older, the commitment was getting a bit much with a young family, so I went into triathlon, so an individual sport. So I've seen the pros and cons from both, to be honest.
Yeah, so looking at the physical, emotional and social benefits, why football and then why triathlon, and what were the differences kind of benefit-wise, health-wise?
So from a social point of view, I think everyone's the same. I imagine all the people listening are the same as well, that you join a football club or rugby club, a team sport, netball club, because you like that social interaction. You like to make friends, and it kind of stems from there. You start to enjoy the sport. You do get that release of stress as you get a little bit older, I suppose. You would definitely go and play your sport on a Saturday afternoon, play football on a Saturday afternoon, and that kind of took your mind off everything that maybe weighing heavy on your shoulders. You just go and play and enjoy being with your friends and playing football. And then when you look at triathlon, it's a bit different because you can train around other commitments, which was nice. Whereas football, you had set training times that you couldn't always commit to. And then from a physical point of view, your CV fitness certainly improved as I trained more for the triathlon. So with the swimming, it wasn't just your CV fitness; you had your muscular endurance as well on top of that. So yeah, loads of benefits for both. But yeah, football was an enjoyment thing first to start off with, so an emotional benefit, a social benefit also, and the practical kind of come alongside it.
And I guess on kind of like the social benefits, in football you've got a lot more of kind of cooperation and developing friendships, whereas that was in football, whereas in triathlon you've got obviously gaining good attitude to competition because you're competing against the people that you see regularly, whereas in football you kind of the people you see all the time, your teammates, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and you also got the fact that you're competing against yourself. So you're not always going to win local competitions and stuff, but you're always going to want to beat your times, which is quite good.
So it's more like physical and emotional benefits of triathlon.
Yeah.
And that probably suits because when you're younger and you're just playing football, obviously it's what your friends at school are doing. It's a way to meet people and make friends.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you was at the age when you started doing triathlon, then you've got those friends already from sports and school and everything, and then you're kind of building on kind of the physical benefit that you was missing from stopping playing football from onto triathlon.
Definitely, and you can, I don't know how many listening to this do run or cycle, whatever, do the individual stuff, but you do make friends. There is still a kind of community around it, but less so, definitely, yeah.
So next kind of subheading in this small topic is the impact of lifestyle choices. So the 4 you've got are diet, activity levels, the work, rest, sleep balance, and recreational drugs, which include alcohol and nicotine. So kind of, we're not the tallest blokes in the world, are we?
Definitely not blessed.
We probably don't need as many calorie intake as someone like Mr Rhodes or Mr Goldman, some of the big units. So kind of from our point of view, size-wise, we need, both being footballers and athletes, kind of a good balance of all your food groups.
Yeah.
And obviously the bigger you are, or if you're training to gain weight, gain muscle, then you're going to take a lot more calories in than you are if you're trying to lose weight. But obviously me and Mr Nicol are trying to stay at the same weight, touch wood. So kind of the calories we're burning is the same as the calories we're trying to take in.
I think it is hard to find the balance, and all the students, year 10s, 11s here, there'll be times where they will be eating a little maybe less healthy and putting on more calories or taking on more calories than what they need to, but it is the exercise. You need to make sure you're balancing it out.
And obviously, as you probably listened to this before you sit your exams in year 11, you've got kind of a lot of time sat down behind a desk or revising, and you're not maybe going to be as active, and obviously that's not a massive issue in the short term, but after exams it's really important that you get back and exercise as much as possible, not just for your kind of physical health but also for your social and emotional benefits that we spoke about before.
And when you think about the role of a PE teacher, I would say the main priority is to get you guys participating in some form of sport when you leave. That's our main aim.
Next, so I've done diet and activity levels there. So work, rest and sleep balance is obviously really important. More sleep and more rest you can get, obviously the more energy you're going to have when you need it. But obviously then you've got the risk of living a sedentary lifestyle if you are too idle and you're not moving enough. And obviously with a sedentary lifestyle, your consequences could be high blood pressure, strokes and heart attacks, which, touch wood, we're both all good at the moment. So a sedentary lifestyle would be you moving too little, and then because of that, obviously those are the increased chances of things you're going to get. So if you do live a sedentary lifestyle, you have a higher chance of getting osteoporosis, poor muscle tone or posture, and it's going to impact on your components of fitness, especially power, speed and cardiovascular endurance. That's just from being still for too long, isn't it?
Yeah, with the osteoporosis, I know this comes up quite a bit in exams, is it has to be weight bearing, so it's making sure you put things, if you're giving examples, things like aerobics, running, not necessarily cycling and swimming because they're non-weight bearing activities. I know people have been caught out on that before.
So what have we got? Next one is hydration. So obviously your optimum weight, so use of energy and hydration, not just hydration. So we're going to look at kind of calorie intake. So as I mentioned earlier, Mr Rhodes and Goldman, their optimum weight is higher than myself and Mr Nicol. So that makes an impact on their optimal weight. So you've got height, gender, bone structure and muscle girth that impact on Miss Veazey's just waving at us through the window. So they take an impact on kind of your optimum weight. So obviously if you're a male, you're going to weigh more than a female. If you're taller, you're more likely to weigh more, and then obviously muscle girth and bone structure more likely to weigh more.
Yeah, we always talk about in lessons we've had in the past, spoke about those that when you get a bit older you want to gain muscle, maybe have that gym body, that beach body, but there is only so much you can do as a kind of individual, because all these things have to be taken into account. You can only go so far. You might not be able to build specific muscles as much as what you want to because your optimum weight might be slightly different. Yeah,
if you want to get them biceps like Mr Sinclair, you've just got to smash those calories and do loads of curls.
Need loads of spinach.
Energy requirements, obviously the more calories you're burning, the more active you are, the more energy you're going to require, so the more calories you're going to take in, and your metabolic rate is the rate your body uses energy. So if you're working out loads, if you're moving a lot, you're going to have a higher metabolic rate, and you're going to have a lower metabolic rate if you're sat down doing not a lot.
You can probably link that to metabolism. So you probably know people that eat loads but don't necessarily put on lots of weight, and that's because their metabolism is very good, the way that they're able to break down the food, I guess.
So our last little subtopic is hydration. So obviously you know from lessons that it's really important to hydrate before and after an event. So obviously benefits of that is you're going to avoid feeling dizzy, during an event. You're going to be able to focus better if you stay at the right level of hydration, and you're going to lose water through sweat as well when you're playing. So the main kind of, I always think when you think sweating, you think the summer.
Yeah.
But it's so important to stay hydrated during the winter, especially football, rugby, long like CV events.
Yeah, and you're constantly sweating, aren't you? And it is also important that you hydrate long before the fixture, long before the game. It's not, you can obviously drink before the match starts, but it's what you take in 2 hours before the event. That's when it's really important.
Lots of small little amounts, isn't it? Because then I always have a bottle of water on my way to football, and then I'm getting there an hour and a half before. So if I can drink that bottle then, and then while I'm in the change rooms have kind of half a bottle, half a bottle like an hour and a half before a game, then a little bit after the warm up, and then obviously try and stay hydrated. As a fullback, I'm normally pretty close to the touchline, so I can grab a drink if I need one.
That's why you play there, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm there. Obviously you have lots of water. To make sure you can focus.
You've also got the electrolytes that you need to kind of replace as well. So it's the water will keep you hydrated for sure, but the electrolytes will give you that added energy that you might need in the event. And that's when you see the footballers, rugby players taking on energy gels. That they're full of electrolytes and probably glucose, so it gets into their system very quickly. But electrolytes are lost through sweat as well, so they need to be replaced. All good.
Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. The next topic that we will do a short podcast on is going to be sports psychology. So that was again on the second paper, and you would have learnt that, or you're learning that in year 10. So thank you very much.
See you later.